What's been called the Southern Hemisphere's most devastating storm was in the Mozambique Channel, heading directly for the mission. It was due to pass just north of Beira, our port city to the east. After seeing the storm was going to reach a Category 3 before making landfall, we as a team prayed, and then we recalled our students who were studying in Beira to return home until after the cyclone. We then pulled out the stops and tied down everything in preparation for the worst. On Friday, the cyclone made landfall. It damaged more than 90% of the structures in the city of Beira, devastating the city, and then it moved inland. At the last minute, the storm adjusted its route and turned just south of us. But as it came inland, it dropped over 1,200 millimeters of rain within a 36-hour period. This would normally be the rainfall of an entire year in that area. Besides this incredible destruction caused by the high winds, this high rainfall inland caused streams to turn into deadly torrents of water full of debris and mud. These came together in the bigger rivers flowing into what's called the Buzi River, resulting in entire communities being swept away. Two of our other sponsored students, studying at a teacher's college in Lamego, had to abandon the roof of the college they initially found refuge on and swim for their lives to escape the rising waters, as they watched other students who could not swim drown. Although most communications were knocked out, the little bit of news I did get in the day following caused me to call the mayor of Chimoio, and he called the governor of our province. By early Monday morning, I flew the governor and a cameraman to survey a significant part of the affected area. The scene was terrible, and the cameraman caught the sad sights of stranded people that made it to Mozambique's national news. This reporting in part resulted in an all-out effort to find ways to rescue those stuck on rooftops and trees. These waved to us as we flew over, but we could do little else than to register their plight and mark waypoints on the GPS. Our provincial governor graciously stayed in contact with me as efforts to respond quickly began. We later found out that one of our staff had a family member from Buzi whose family thought he was lost, only to later found out that he was rescued after spending 4 full days and nights in a tree. Our partners Mercy Air were the first ones to fly to Beira with their helicopter to start rescuing people. We then received the Kodiak aircraft from South Africa with medicines and other aid. Over the next week, we met with and engaged with private citizens and organizations as well as government agencies to mobilize support to the hardest hit areas. With our Cessna aircraft, we were able to do more flights to survey the worst flooded areas and also helped evacuate people out of Beira. We were then contacted by Samaritan's Purse, another Christian nonprofit organization who set up an emergency hospital in Buzi, a town that was completely submerged during the flooding. With a 15-minute flight in our aircraft, we were able to move medical personnel and supplies into this clinic that was totally cut off. Not only so, we were able to get medical supplies, water purification products, and high nutrition food mix into a number of the areas worst hit. We have been so grateful for the many generous people who have supported us through this difficult time. Besides tons of food aid that was given by our local community, the international community and the World Food Program collaborated very well with us. We were able to purchase 12 tons of seed and tools and distribute them to enable planting in the lower lying areas with the residual moisture at the tail end of this rainy season. Every day, it seems, there are new communities being discovered that have been devastated. Although over 1,000 are now reported dead, due to the areas hardest hit, it's really hard to put exact numbers on the dead and injured. Just as it appears that the initial emergency was being handled, we started receiving messages from the many communities we serve who, although not in the direct line of the storm, were impacted and lost homes and crops, and who need our urgent attention. as the country and we all were struggling to recover from this first cyclone, a second cyclone, Kenneth, made landfall in the north of the country. In total, literally hundreds of thousands of people have lost everything and are in great and urgent need of help. Although the needs are overwhelming, I'm reminded of Andrew, one of Jesus' disciples, who spoke up and said, "Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" In our lives in ministry, we've been constantly reminded to not look at the little that we can offer, but to trust that in the Master's hands, our little becomes sufficient. The needs are vast and diverse, and it will take some time to recover. Thank you for your prayers and your support as we use this opportunity to take Christ's love in tangible ways to people in need.